You're right guys, it's about time I give an update about Maker Festival. Now Maker Festival is the little get together that I'm trying to organise. Now there is a link in the description to the original video where I talk about it in more detail, so if you didn't see that one, go and check it out. But the rough idea is I just want to get people together. It's nothing to do with stalls or demonstrations or anything like that, because I really believe that the best thing about these events and get-togethers is the people, and it's the time we spend together. So I thought, why not just make that the main focus of an event? That's what Maker Festival will be. Well, I've been looking at lots of different venues after I got an idea of how many people would want to be attending. After my video was released, I've got a rough idea that it's looking like 200 to 300 people would like to attend. So I went ahead with those numbers and I contacted a ton of different venues. Now local venues in the Midlands, trouble is, they tend to have a maximum occupancy of around 100 to about 150 people, but that's including people sharing in 4 and 8 berth chalets and log cabins and stuff like that. So of course if you're staying as an individual, those numbers quickly drop down in terms of occupancy. So that got me thinking I need to look at big sites, big nationwide brands such as Pontins, Butlins, Haven, Whole Seasons, that kind of thing. And the first of those to get back to me was Pontins. Now they had very good deals available for me, and they also helped me a lot in arranging a time that I could go down and go and check out the site. So that's what I did this past weekend. I went down to the site at Breen Sands, which is just down the road from Weston-super-Mare. It is quite south, but transport links are quite good, especially with the trains. So that's how I got there. I got a train from Birmingham New Street down to Weston-super-Mare. Now that train, that took about an hour and 50 minutes, which isn't long on the trains these days, so I don't think it's too bad. And of course, depending on where you're coming from the country, your journey's going to be longer depending on that, of course. But once I got to Weston-super-Mare, I had 2 options to get to the site. I could take the bus, which would take 40 minutes and cost about £4.50 for a one-way ticket, or I ended up getting an Uber, which cost me £17. I kind of opted for that because I'd got my bags and I was kind of a bit exhausted, so I just went for that. But on my way back I did get the bus, and it's not a bad route at all, so there is that option there. Now when I got to the site, I wasn't very impressed with the facilities, to be honest with you. Everything was a little bit dated and it looked a little bit grubby. When I got there, I headed over to the bar area because I was actually about an hour early before I was able to check in. So I thought I'll just go to the bar, I'll get a glass of Coke or something and I'll sit outside because the weather was lovely. It was red hot while I was there. And I get to the bar and the bar was still being set up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was thinking, this is a family park, everybody's on holiday. I think it's a bit strange to not have a bar open at that time. And the guy who was setting up says there'll probably be another couple of hours setting up. So I'm thinking 3 o'clock in the afternoon before you can get a drink or anything. That's not great. So it wasn't off to the best start. On site they have got a pool, they've got kids play areas, which my planning before I went there was thinking if we're all having a get together and families and come in and they've got young kids, the kids are going to get bored, so there's play areas to play on and stuff like that. But there wasn't much to write home about. It wasn't exactly what I thought it would be looking on the map and online, so those facilities really wasn't all that great. They did have a small shop on site, like a small little supermarket, which is really useful for this kind of stuff. You haven't got to travel far if you want your toiletries and food and bits and bobs like that, so that was good. It was there on site for you, but everything else I don't really think there's much to talk about there, to be honest. The overall upkeep of the site wasn't great either. In between the actual chalets I could see that had been mowed recently and the grass was well kept and the pathways was all clear. But at the back of the chalets, the routes that you take to get in and out of the park and to the main areas, those are kind of just left to grow wild. There was bushes on the side, there was thorns coming through and weeds and nettles and stuff like that, so I ended up just having to walk in the road. I know these are little nitpicking stuff, but I think that if you're actually paying to go to a park, this should be a given. It's the whole experience of it. But at the end of the day I was thinking, right, this could all be different when we book and come up, so let's go and check out the chalet itself. When I get into the chalet, it didn't get any better. not very nice at all. It was only small, okay, it's a cheap site, you get what you pay for, I understand that, but it was dirty, and I don't think it's a lot to ask for it to be clean before you get in there. There was stains on the bed, the floor was dirty, there was dust on the surfaces. I had to go and get washing up liquid and stuff to wash all the pots and pans and glassware that was included in the kitchen area. Just, it wasn't a very nice experience, and worst of all, in the bathroom, it was full of flying ants. Now, I know what it's like. It's kind of, in the UK, you'll have 1 or 2 days where the flying ants just come out and there's no controlling them. But as you can imagine, it wasn't the nicest thing to walk into the bathroom and just have ants all over the window and a toilet full of them. It wasn't very nice at all. But if it was just us that was heading down, perhaps for a half-hour drive down the road, if it was just an hour down the road even, I could kind of let it slide. We're all just getting together, it's somewhere to lay your head, that kind of thing. But I know there's interest from people coming from America, from Australia, that kind of distance, and if you've been travelling for 1-2 days, there's no way I could expect you to go and relax and put your head down in somewhere like that. So I don't think it's suitable for us. There is a big plus to this site though. The beach is literally 2 minutes from the site. You cross over a road and it's there, and the beach stretches on for miles. It's really quiet, there's nobody overlooking it, so if we wanted to have a get together there, like we wanted to have a bonfire and a party and that kind of stuff, I don't think there'd be anybody locally that would get annoyed, because it's kind of away from everything. So that was a big plus. It was a lovely beach, it really was. So taken away from that, there was some positives, but at this stage I really don't think that it's suitable for us. Please do let me know in the comments if you think differently, if you're kind of like, I don't mind about that, if the price is cheap, it doesn't matter, we're all there together, I can understand that. But from my opinion, this is kind of like out of the question now, and I'm looking at other options. Next up, I'm hoping to go and do a tour at Butlins. I'm looking at the Skegness site. Butlins is similar to Pontins in terms of accommodation, but it's a much bigger site, it's much newer. I know pictures aren't much to go on, but looking at pictures it looks a lot cleaner, it just looks a lot better quality. But most of all, I know the facilities at Butlins are brilliant. Last time I went to Butlins, I'm talking 10-15 years ago, something like that, and it was the type of deal where you didn't even need to leave the site, everything was there for you. So that kind of option for young families, if they want to come along, that will be a big plus. But of course, I'll keep you all updated with how it's coming along. I'm still hoping to get it all sorted before the end of August, so at least we'll have something ready and people can get booking up and stuff like that. The plan is for it to be next year, either around the June, July time or October, again based on pricing and based on availability. But I'm hoping to get us a good deal, because if there's a good amount of people going, there's going to be 300 people there, I should be able to negotiate a good price with them. So let's see what we can sort. I want to thank everybody who's reached out and offered help, and as I've said to you, as soon as a site's sorted, that's when I'll really be needing all the help I can get, because until a site's booked I can't really put any more plans into action. But as soon as we have that date and we have a venue, then we can all move forward. So thank you all for watching, guys, and thank you for your support. I've seen everybody's been sharing it round about Maker Festival, it really helps a lot. So if you can all keep that up, it's very much appreciated. And of course, if you have any ideas of sites or you know some venues, please let me know, get in touch. Email address, Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, and the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next update.